Hi, I'm Jeff Tucker, Director of Content here at Idaho Public Television. Well, it turns out that you can teach old dogs new tricks. The events of the last 8 months have taught us something new that we call pandemic production. Much of what we're working on now won't be seen for 6 to 12 months, which means 8 months ago, when the nation stopped, we were in the bit of a pickle. So as the group started discussing what to do next, as per usual, the team, and I mean everyone at IdahoPTV, jumped right in. But I'll talk specifically about production. First, it was safety. We established COVID protocols both for the people we were interviewing in the field and for staff. First rule, don't do anything that makes you or people around you feel unsafe. Second, we discussed how to continue our long-form content field production. That included masks, alcohol and hand sanitizer, and all the other rules for safety. The other change was how to do ongoing studio productions like Idaho Reports and the 180. You'll hear more about Marcia's newest project, which started because of the pandemic restrictions. And just like billions of other people on the planet, we learned how to incorporate Zoom into our daily lives. It's now how we do much of our timely work. Even Eli, the newest member of the Davlin family, caught the Zoom bug. He's been heard in the background of Idaho Report's Friday programs, no doubt practicing for his cameo as a future host down the road. Science Trek starts its 22nd season this year with a look at what else but viruses. Not surprisingly, viewership was way up because we were already serving parents, educators, and kids in the digital world. On the PBS streaming service, views of Science Trek are up almost 200% year to year. And use of the Science Trek website is at about 4 million views. Here's one of the virus shorts from this season, entitled Herd Immunity, and I don't mean cows.
A herd is a group of animals, like a herd of cows. But herd immunity is how we all work together to limit the spread of a virus. Say you have a group of people. A virus can spread quickly, making them sick. When someone recovers from an infectious illness, they develop antibodies in their blood that helps them fight off that virus. They can also be protected from a disease by getting a vaccination. They have what's called immunity. If there are enough people in the group that have immunity, then it's difficult for the virus to spread at all, and that's called herd immunity. We need more than 70% of the group to be protected for herd immunity to work. But if there are fewer than that, then the virus can spread disease more easily. Having herd immunity is important because it protects people who can't get vaccinated, people who are too young or too old, or whose immune systems aren't strong enough. Herd immunity is one way to stop the spread of a virus. For more information about viruses, check out the Science Trek website. You'll find it at sciencetrek.org.
Now, Marcia Franklin has started a new digital series called The 180. Since April, she's been talking with people who have had to make great changes in their lives. In other words, do a 180. They've included a refugee who started up a medical transport company just as the pandemic began, and a mother of 2 children who decided to become a nun. What has sustained them along the way? Their resilience can help provide us all a roadmap. Marcia has been posting the conversations to the Dialogue Facebook page and to the Idaho Public Television YouTube channel. Here's a short clip.
Hi, I'm Marcia Franklin. You know, sometimes the most nondescript places like this one hide the most amazing stories. For instance, the vans behind me are fueled in part by the determination of a young man who's already faced more challenges in his life than many of us will face in a lifetime. This week on the 180, meet Jonathan Amissa. In just 15 years, Amissa has gone from being an orphan on the streets of Cameroon to starting this successful medical transport company in Boise. Jonathan talks with me about what drives him to succeed and what has grounded him through the massive 180s he's had to make. Any one of them might have brought someone to their knees, but Amissa not only got up, he sprinted. And what you will hear is proof positive that just one person, one of us, can make a huge difference in a person's life and help them achieve their dreams. Be prepared to be inspired.
Idaho Experience is now in its 4th season, continuing to bring to life the stories of the extraordinary people and defining events that have shaped Idaho's past and present. In August, we told you about the story of how Idaho became the 4th state in the nation to honor women with the right to vote. Independent producer Jenny Sue Weltner and IdahoPTV's own Marcia Franklin brought us ahead of her time. Women's Suffrage in Idaho.
They marched in the streets, spent months in jail, and went to war with a president. Women in America finally won their right to vote in 1920. By that time, women in Idaho had been casting ballots and winning seats for nearly a quarter of a century. Ahead of her time.
Now a reminder of news from previous preview events. Finally, April 5th, Ken Burns brings us Hemingway. He paints an intimate picture of Hemingway the writer, who captured the complexities of the human condition while also penetrating the myth of Hemingway himself, the man's man.
The great thing is to last and get your work done. And see and hear and learn and understand. And write when there is something that you know, and not before, and not too damned much after.
In March, Bill Manny will also explore Hemingway, but from an Idaho perspective. If you know anything about Ernest Hemingway's time in Idaho, you know that he dies by suicide at his home in Ketchum. And that's pretty much it, a celebrity that died in Idaho. But that narrative is not just incomplete, it's wrong. It ignores the affection he had for the landscape, the hunting, the lifelong friends he made here. It ignores the struggle against physical and mental decline. And it mostly ignores the work on books like For Whom the Bell Tolls and A Movable Feast. It misses the influence not just that Hemingway had on Idaho, but that Idaho had on Hemingway.
Something about how terrifying, it was for him to sit down or stand up to write. That he would just tell himself, I just want to write one true sentence today, just one true sentence. And God, could I relate to that? And the terror of it. If Hemingway was scared, I could be scared too.
For December, our Idaho Experience team shares a collection of short stories, including how a publisher maintains hands-on printing traditions, steamboats that once thrived on Lake Pend Oreille, New Plymouth's beginning as an irrigated utopia, an infamous Idaho criminal from a pioneer family, and how drive-in theaters keep old-time movie-watching rights alive. That and a lot more for you coming this spring and summer. It really seems like we're busier now than before the pandemic locked us down. But we didn't put our heads in the sand. Ron has been steady at the helm, and we continue to look at what our viewers need and then proceed quickly but cautiously. Even Idaho's icon Bruce Reichert has not been motionless. He's still wandering in the wilderness and sending us emails at 4 in the morning. So I guess in some ways things haven't changed all that much. And as we say, keep positive and test negative.